Welcome everyone to another fun live stream. When you really think you can't find more broken stuff, you find more broken stuff. Case in point also, did I start secure shell 137 should. Why is that connection refused? Init 3, restart, it disappeared. Oh shit, why is this? Oh, this, oh, okay. Maybe, no, let's see. Maybe let's start at the top fully. Yeah, so I'm minding here, come on. Is there not some freaking force thing? Minding here my own vintage and retro business. Oh, come on. And stuff doesn't work, reconfirm me right. And I also wonder why is it me that finds all the bugs? What is Red Hat doing with? I mean, yeah, except not supporting vintage and retro CPUs. So for years, this is the second. Yes, it's an IDT WinChip 2. Spoiler alert, LS CPU. It is in WinChip 2 3D. Okay, it might, however, affect, hear me out. It might affect other CPUs. I have not yet debugged it. So welcome to a nightly debugging session, live here with Code Therapy, only here on these channels. I found that for years, so that is actually a year-long regression that I only noticed now. Because previously, what were the symptoms, I noticed that this is the second computer I ever purchased in my life. I said this before. First I coded on my father's 386 SX25 for 6 years. Then I saved for 6 years. I brought the 120 MHz Pentium. So far so good, amazing and stuff. And then the second, like after some years, 3 years or whatever, it was time to upgrade. Obviously, not rich. So all I could afford then was an IDT WinChip 2 3D, which obviously I still have here, right? So my second PC I ever had. Why not keep it and start it sometimes, right? And so for a long time I noticed it doesn't boot anymore. And I can't fix everything immediately, right? So obviously I don't use it in production and daily and stuff. But I thought like, you know what? There is an ATI, the ATI X server crashed the last time I wanted to use it. So I thought like, with our latest and greatest release ever, maybe I should actually check which vintage and retro Xorg server drivers actually work. And so this board didn't boot anymore. And I thought it's a kernel bug because all I had on the screen here was some interrupts, like some spurious 8259A interrupt there, and I thought like, yeah, it's some kernel bug. So I booted some older kernels, like last year, previous last year, and then after all of this, eventually, and with more logging and stuff, I realized, wait a second, this is not about this spurious IRQ7 stuff here of X86 garbage peripheral stuff. The bug is a much crazier one. Because initially I thought like Linus Torvalds broke his kernel again, but no. It is mind-blowing. So, and there's also diagnostics, right? There is a win-win actually for any other freaking CPU, even ARM and RISC-V, because each of this vintage and retro stuff makes our Linux distribution better. Not only for this vintage and retro stuff. Because turns out, the whole kernel was actually booting fine, just because the diagnostics are so shitty by default, which obviously some news sites proclaim flicker-free and modeless, whatnot, and silent and quiet boot. Yeah, but then you don't even see what's freaking going on, right? Even with my text mode booting, I didn't see what's going on. So the big win for everyone using T2, amazing T2 Linux, will be improved diagnostics. Because fool me once, and I wasted 2 hours booting old kernels until I realized, wait a second, it's not the freaking kernel. So fool me once, but not freaking twice. So improving, I will add 2 simple log messages of, and the Linux kernel has a message, just by default it's not printed. So I will change either now or later the Linux kernel to always, or like to with a normal standard log level print executing init. Because had I seen that, I would not wasted 3 hours debugging or like booting or like downloading my own old kernels and using a USB parallel 88 dongle to copy the kernel. I would have known, hey, the freaking kernel booted, right? And so the user space doesn't work. 20, actually, since so broken since probably 3 years, it looks handling for Zhaoxin, so pronounce Chinese, whatnot, Pinyin, Zhao, whatever. Apparently handling for that broke many vintage CPUs. I don't know how many yet. I've not yet fully debugged it. I'm just sitting here 2 hours later. Like, dude, are you freaking kidding me? Everything they can break, they freaking break. What is even their job? Maybe you would need, maybe they should only allow people with a certificate of not breaking each freaking code, like non-code breaking certificate work on open source stuff. So that is an old installation. So that is basically the 4 years ago. It's the last T2 Linux that boots on this boot because this shit broke it apparently. At least my preliminary conclusion here. So that is a new system. So that is an old system that works as you would expect. That is T2 version 20. Ah, wait, this is somehow. Ah, this is also my wrong. Best here. You can't make this shit up. 2019, T2 9 2019, super old freaking release. Absolutely mind-blowing. And then this is the new build, which is this one, cat etc SDE version 20. So that is slightly older for whatever reason. Oh, it's all right, because that is my December testing my own shit. Actually tested that on X86 other. So it's slightly older from December. And so if we change root in here, it doesn't freaking work. X86 32-bit stuff. I mean, it could even break 64-bit stuff. I did. So how do you also, by the way, the first thing strace, it's like does some things exec ve bin bash break null. Nothing much happens here. Okay. So then of course we take out the debugger and GDB. Right. Actually, the next thing is because I know how stuff works. So then I check the dynamic linker that should normally print out here's this GlibC banner stuff. And so, the freaking dynamic linker already doesn't freaking work. Like, what is even their profession at GNU Free Software Foundation? Professional code management stuff. Previous videos, somehow. Okay, GDB it is. Then run the thing. Nothing much happened. Control C. Handle Zhaoxin. They added support for a garbage Chinese fucking CPU that nobody freaking except the CCP has. And they break all my precious sum of... And then 32-bit is broken because, like, yeah, if you somehow YOLO garbage Chinese crap code in there, it's like, no wonder it's effing broken. It's like, you had one job. And adding Chinese garbage CPUs in there and breaking all the old other stuff is... I mean, maybe they probably, it's like, of all those things I never wanted to debug. Now we debug the GlibC Free Software Foundation not professional release code handling 3 years broken X86 init CPU features, which I even disabled and don't even use hardware capabilities. Why? Why? It was working for 35 years. I brought this in 1998. So yeah, now we can analyze and debug what they even, it's like, do we even still try to write software that works? Or maybe there's maybe some infinite loop or like some, I don't even know what's like layout is, also it's like, do we have things to jump. It's like, what is even inc? What do they do? Do they do CPU ID? The infinite loop and CPU ID or some bullshit. Do the infinite loop? It's like it's and that is not like broken for one day. It's broken for 3 years. For 3 years that is broken. Do people even try to write code, working code? And they probably have. I mean, first of all, the shit shouldn't infinite loop. It's like programming 101 before you go to university. Try some basic. It hurts. It is so stupid. I need the drugs the Free Software Foundation is on. It's like it's so stupid. I need to literally buy a freaking dictionary, an Oxford dictionary of English proper cursing on and swear words to properly express myself. How ridiculously fucked up it is. I'm between speechless and wanting to resign, and it's like why and how and that's not even rocket science kernel code. It's freaking user space code, and they break it. It's like if I need to write my microkernel. I need to write my microkernel. It's so stupid. It's absolutely. Leave me in the comments below, and I don't know what it is. It is just stupid. A debugging session is active. Yes, that's a normal state of affair here. Yes, exit please. Which version is it even? I mean, it's any version, but var adm. And maybe don't add support for CPUs from the CCP, for God's sake. It's like nobody freaking lets the Chinese freaking deal with it. It's broken shit they built there from license from AMD themselves or whatever. I mean, maybe we should extract 3, but I believe it's broken in the latest GlibC as well, because the first thing I did was copy the latest build kernel, so that's also broken. So I tested that already. I tested 7 kernels from latest to. Yeah, welcome everyone. Leave in the comments below how much live stream do you want to see? Do you have enough? Can you never get enough? Do you want to see all of it? The most, the stupid, the worst, the ugly, the mind-blowingly stupid, the beginner mistake, infinite looping. Yeah, how much should I live stream? Between all of it, because people are here for the runs. What should I say? I mean, thankfully we have somehow arrived. Thankfully, normally we might not even see that. Thankfully we have a backtrace there. And I thought it's a kernel bug. I thought the interrupt routing or spurious AT keyboard controller stuff is. But no, they created an infinite loop here in cache info. In DL cache info. Yay! Handle. I mean, how can they even? So the CPU feature basic kind, arch kind. It's like, how do they get from IDT WinChip to arch kind? It's like, how? Do we have probably not debug infos for that? Do we? Yeah, it's a release build. So run, break. Do we have CPU info? Features? of course we don't have. Also, wait, what is it? What do you even, is it even info? P, what do you even, CPU, what do you even do? It is too late, I don't have enough. I don't know what they are doing. So of course it doesn't have debug information. So now we would need to debug. So the problem is that, where do they set this freaking kind? What was it? Kind of here. Basic feature kind. CPU basic kind arch kind. Okay, let's see what that is. Probably I should also not trigger people and freaking use a proper ID for that. Do they just map the wrong thing to? So what is even the bloody spelling for this Chinese crap? So it's unknown, Intel, AMD or other. Thank you very much. Did they had 10 years ago support for Cyrix, and is not everything is? Wouldn't surprise me if everything not Intel or AMD, basically Cyrix, IDT, next gen, DMP. I don't know. Where do they even set that? Man, that is so ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. Oh, was it not that one? Oh, it was CPU cache in. It would also be cool if there would be some Linux kernel questions there via C3 close IDT WinChip 2, but I mean maybe, yeah, so you're guessing, yeah, maybe VIA also are broken, I don't know. Where do they set this basic kind? Where do they even freaking set that basic kind equal, basic kind equals basic kind equals. Of course, the problem is now, did they leave a space there or not? So there is something. Equals kind has CPU ID. So where is the freaking kind? Arch kind other family. So maybe they just this spells out Centaur holes or Shanghai. Did they really just string compare that wrong? Wonderful. Extended model is also a bloody mess. So they used this, and so they really broke all CPUs that had Centaur holes and infinite loop because some CPU ID stuff doesn't return the latest AMD. Is it even AMD licensed or was it AMD licensed, right? If you didn't know, which even freaking CPUs do they have? So if you're new to this stuff, they even had actually a VIA Nano. You know what? I even have the freaking VIA prototype, right? I have the SHAR. I mean, that probably, so that is Isaiah. I mean, I have something pretty close to that, right? I have the VIA SHAR Snowflake 001 prototype, but that worked. So I mean, yeah, I mean, okay, so the problem is that this is, as you see, such a complex mess here. With all the features and bits, it would have also been really cool if there would be some generic Linux kernel auxiliary feature user space map thing to pass it down. Okay, so indeed, I mean, this is also stupid, right? Why did the bloody Chinese name it Archkind Zhaoxin when it's all of freaking Centaur holes? Like, every sane normal developer would name that handle Centaur holes and not bloody Zhaoxin, which no freaking normal person even has in. Anyway, maybe then it is, so handle, okay, so it's kind of the right code path, just shittily named. Handle, return -1 for older CPUs. Oh wait, this is handle Intel. Handle, crap. Oh, what is the bloody spelling? Hey, if they would have called this in Centaur holes, I would also know how to freaking spell it. So, via freaking infinite loop. And then it doesn't return something or some random garbage, and then it's so probably so level, so CPU ID count for level 4 or whatever, and then they never enum null, so then it returns some old incompatible stuff or whatever. So the problem is, so what I also, why in general somehow I really wish we would have some more dynamic handling, because what also annoys me, what I would really love, which is also why I'm dreaming about some JIT with my like first class JIT for my microcard. Yes, it sounds Java and whatnot, but what also really annoys me, even for me with all my setup here and so on, it's now super annoying to debug that, right? You always need to build a debug build. I mean, okay, we could probably pre-debug that if we, because I can't just break in there. No, actually, no, but we can. Wait, we can. Nonsense. We have a debugger. I mean, it's with some dynamic, really instantly pluggable stuff. Would we lay out as a step? But this is natively running on the IDT WinChip, right? So we can't do stuff anymore like, hey, we have a source level debugger here natively running on it. It's slightly overclocked, so. But I'm not yet sure if that is stable. I've never run it with 250 megahertz. So I'm running this with 80, so it's usually 60 megahertz system bus multiplied by 4, 240 megahertz. I'm running it with 83 megahertz system clock multiplied by 3, so. But I mean, otherwise it's of course working. So I want to say it's slightly faster than spec. It's obviously what you do 2024. So silicon degradation, my ass, right? Overclocking 25-year-old silicon beyond limits. So why is this not happening? Where is our CPU? Move CPU ID. So here, shit. So this is our freaking infinite loop here. Professionals. Also code review. It's just it's not aimed at Intel, YOLO, whatever. Apply it. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. It's who should? That's like. It's just a system C library, runtime dynamic library. It's a linker. It's not so important. So compare. Jump not equal move, load effective address, compare, sub, where is even freaking inc ESI here. So info registers. So yeah, level 4. So EX, so CPU ID takes here level in EX, I believe. So yeah, CPU ID count, no surprise, right, 4. And so then if we step over that, single step there, and info registers again. So we know, so this probably didn't, so what's it? Actually, did it even freaking check if it supports a freaking level? Okay, so that is what it returns. Which we would now need to, what is CPU ID level 4, leaf, or they call it leaf. Maybe this is a new spelling. I think long time ago they called it differently. The new Intel, no one's like naming their leaf, which I'm not a fan of naming this leaf, but whatever. We have here, where is even the basic whatnot leaf output depends initial value of ECX. Thank you very much, returns. Cache parameters for each level. So the question is, does EDT WinShip? Actually, there is a full IDT WinShip manual. Somehow I noticed today my new browser here doesn't do PDF for some reason. Oh yeah, IDT WinShip BIOS writer script. Oh, this loads. Other PDFs today didn't load. Okay, fine, I take that. CPU ID. Is it WinShip? Wait, which in WinShip? Hey, it's even WinShip 3, which by the way, if you have IDT WinShip 3, I would love to have it, because I only have an IDT WinShip 2A also. Obviously, I have an eBay search, but in 10 years, I never came across a single prototype engineering sample IDT WinShip 3. If you have one, email welcome. Because obviously the only person in the world still debugging all this crazy stuff like this is live here on YouTube, so. Yeah, where are the freaking, give me already, do they not have, extended, so they have, where do they have that identification? So they don't have that, right? So they don't have it. They have, so this, how did they call it in the good old times? They didn't call it specifically, huh? Only function. So yeah, Intel now, since some years Intel calls it leaf. Okay, so I guess we patched that similar to, I've earlier seen already a glimpse of Intel had here older CPUs. Oh yeah, shit, just you scroll, and then when you think you didn't find it. Intel had here max index, so where's our max? Here is that. Okay, I just want, I mean, I'm not further guru meditating the infinite loop there. Should I be so evil and not send it upstream and have IDT WinShip broken and all the other VR and whatnot who don't have leaf 4 in all the other Linux distributions? Should T2 remain? Leave in the comments below. Upstream or not? Should we troll all the other people? So, handle that. Can't support old shit MyS anymore, especially if you write infinite loops for unsupported CPU ID leaves. I mean, why do they even store it there? But okay, fine, whatever. I mean, I would write max index. So return -1, it's probably okay, I hope. If that's less than 4, we don't even need to try to use, like, yeah, professionals. Not, why bother checking if this shit, if your hardware supports what you're trying to do? So, amazing. Here's also common cache in level. Try, do they check common cache info? Get common thread stuff, CPU, basic, whatnot. L3 first, feature kind. So you have even here basic kind, arch kind, Zhao. I mean, that is really shitty from the Chinese to name this arch kind Zhaoxin when it's IDT freaking WinShip, right? They should have really named this Centaur holes and not like, there are millions CPU out there and they have 5 and they name it their shit instead of generic Centaur holes. But if I would be Richard Stallman, I would not have played this patch. I would have said, you know what, rework that and change the names to Centaur holes and fix your infinite loops there in your unsupported cache leaf handling. But, so where do they call that was generic common get common cache info? Do they have here feature arch kind? Okay, this is okay. So they do generic there. They do generic there. So they do that for all thing for many. not for AMD. So they do this always. They also don't check the leaf here. Number, they basic kind, support count mask, shared, has CPU feature HTT. Okay, maybe they don't call leaves here. Maybe this is just post-processing for multiplying stuff with hyper-threading or whatnot. Feature, ASEF max cache info. Oh no, here they do this. Figure out number of, here they check CPU ID equals, yeah, I mean, yeah, do. Cool. One freaking infinite loop with bloody not checking the cache leaf support. Thing broke my precious second necessity for gracious, successful computer science living. Thanks. Thanks for the pleasure, for the privilege to producing YouTube content, fixing it live on this amazing code therapy channel. I appreciate it. It's amazing. Please break more, the more we can live stream. Package, GlibC, hotfix. Hotfix what? Centaur holes, huh? IDT. Hotfix, you know what we could, somehow did I, what have I done? I also did this wrong. We could name it hotfix X86 cache. Maybe X86. Okay, IDT. It's too long. Interrupt descriptor table. Winship. What is the CPU ID of via C3? Do they use Centaur holes or? Fun fact, the only other, except this char one, okay, it doesn't matter. The only other is unfortunately broken. Somehow self-destructed, this low quality stuff. Where is even freaking, do I need to click on this here somehow? Yeah, vendors and toe holes. What is the largest CPU leaf? Where do they have this in the signature? Where do they have? I believe I don't have any of those. It's the same. Here's some datasheet does this. Oh, this even renders. CPU ID is done. It was already, I saw it already there. Oh shit, we can't. 332. It's an old-fashioned PDF without hyperlinks too. CPU ID leaf EX1. It looks on a first glance that they also don't support that. I mean, they have extended cache info there, but not in the what would be into. We have been here already. So here, which are Centaur holes? IDT Winship Centaur, including Veer. I guess they don't further. Okay, Centaur VR, so who knows which. What had the other, did they not change the to VR? I didn't, I mean, they were too low performance. I didn't have those VRs back in the day. Anyway, so what is, do they have here somewhere? Basic, yada yada. Oh wait, this is also... were we not at 4? 2 cache and, or is it extended? Somehow this is slightly, is this not extended or? That's annoying. Actually, I have a, oh, I didn't check it out. I need the proper Intel spec. So this one here. Where is freaking leaf? Also, like, yeah, Intel complexity, right? Leaf 1F supersedes leaf 08 because I need to do it even more complex. Do they have here somewhere leaf 04? No? Leaf 04. Cache topology. So yeah, it looks on a first glance. What is the first freaking CPU to support this? Do they list this here? Cache ID, output depends on value 6, returns the cache pairs in each level. Yeah, whatever. So, so then we call it. Oh, you know what? We only need to call it Centaur, not Centaur holes. Oops, Centaur is fine. That's nicely shorter. Capital, not. So let's freaking build it. TM X86 to GlibC or whatever. It's like it's so set. It is. I have no words. Which, by the way, win-win. We could theoretically. I noticed here there is looking. So someone implemented some SIS 5595 SMBus, looking for 5595, but found unsupported device 5597. Maybe we can support SIS, maybe we can just add the ID in there and have it like 20 years later, 25 years later, maybe have an SMBus driver for SIS 5597, huh? Oh shit, why does this not build? Did I delete something already? Or did I patch that wrong? Maybe. What's going on here? No, or did I have a typo in there? CPU undeclared. Did nobody found that? Maybe I should actually sometimes freaks read the freaking comments. GlibC hotfix. What have I done there? Oh darn. It wasn't in there. GlibC VI handle. Name's so shitty. Nobody. Was it not in here? Was it not in cache info? Why did this not search? What have I misspelled? Okay, it doesn't matter. Oh, they only have int name, handle. Oh shit, do they have a different calling convention? Int name, what? Why do they? Ugh, come on. You got to be kidding me. Handle. I mean, normal people would use the same calling convention for all this stuff, but. Right, with set. I spell it with X. Handle. It's a shit here. It's. Man, I tell you, writing an operating system 30, 40 years later must apparently very, very difficult. Rocket science or so. Handle show shit here of handle that. Do we have, why is this here data? I mean, in a way it is somehow, maybe we should, you know what, we could also do differently, which is basically not fall into this code at all. Basically, we could check for the level here, and then do we have a more generic code case? Not really, huh? So the only hand, I mean, maybe I should check if they deleted code there ever. Okay, they initialized this to -1. Because basically we could save ourselves. You know what, micro performance optimization, why call this shit multiple times if it doesn't do anything? If we can directly, by the way, better, what was the operator precedence? The third thing is operator priorities here. So convoluted that everyone just better. I mean, the C compiler will probably warn anyway. Should this not work? I think this simple thing should work like that. Handle Zhaoxin stuff here. Max, which basically CPU features. So then we don't need that there actually. If we handle crap stuff here and feature greater equal 4, and then only do that. That surely should work, huh? Oh wait, there's a typo. Merde, oui. Oui. Yeah, amazing stuff. The future is now. Do they really use those? Do they really use those CPUs? I can easily buy ARM RISC-V processor. Cannot any of those. I mean, yeah, the Chinese people submitted it, right? So, oh wait, mini PC on eBay for 260. You should upstream. It kind of sucks it didn't went through more reviews under 1 million open source contributor hours. Yeah, and none. I mean, there are obviously not so that many people using IDT WinChip via other Centaur things. Building GlibC 56 seconds. Yeah, but I debugged also, it could have been that even more is broken, right? I mean, until you debug, you don't know what is infinite looping there, how much. Absolutely mind-boggling. Also, I didn't stop my own YouTube videos there. Yeah. So, the thing is, if I want to boot the latest system, which now it's also freaking late, as usual, like if you fix other people's bug all day long, then it's night and day and weekend and... Yep. Because I need to rebuild the init ID, I can't... SCP... let's see how fast SCP is on a 250 MHz overclocked. Serve T2, build all this good stuff here. Hello. Hey, 1.4 freaking megabyte. I mean, that's not that slow. It's doing crypto, man. But yeah, it's an advanced RISC 86 architecture, obviously. So mine root here. I have glibc. Hey, extracting set standard with rocket stuff. Breaking performance. I mean, it's 25 years later, not unusable. Of course, I would only have to extract the dynamic linker, but yeah. Oh wait, this is a slightly newer glibc, right? But that surely shouldn't break anything. Famous last words. Yep. So yeah, what I actually wanted to test is the ATI-X driver. And now 3 hours later, I think I go. We can do a couple of patches though. What I promised, improved diagnostics and adding SAS, whatnot, you know, the stuff here. Unsupported device, I'm pretty sure that has a very high chance to just work if we just add the ID in there. My second PC ever built deserves such treatment. Can you believe it? Oh, we don't have NeoFetch. Oh wait, we have NeoFetch. Alright, can you believe it? If you don't infinite loop and don't query unsupported cache levels that do return nothing or garbage or whatnot, then it works! Yay! Yeah, do I have here, so that should probably, oh wait, I can start the XOX server then from inside here. If we have, we probably don't, I didn't mount it. Yeah, so the problem is that is an old installation which is wasting initRD. You remember this 20-year-old bug we recently fixed, wasting all the initRD, leaking all the initRD memory here? That certainly sucks a lot on that. But you know what, if we, but I mean, rebuilding the initRD now will take, but hey, you know what, we don't need to rebuild the initRD there. We can just build the latest kernel on a Threadripper and copy that over, like to Linux, right? Do I have, I don't have all threads enabled. That surely is faster than compressing, like set standard compressing the initRD with not much, 128 megs of memory. Let's Threadrip that in tempfs. Do I have Clang? Did I test it recently? Why do I not have Clang here? Or did I? I don't remember if, okay, whatever, doesn't matter. Question there, what's the difference? One glibc and... What is the difference between one glibc and there's a bloody heart, YouTube heart button there in the, and two. Is there two glibcs? There should not, there's only one glibc, or? They are all crossed. Previously we had only, did I build one or two? No, I built one. 1 and 2 are the same. Until last year or until a year or two ago, we had only one. So the stage 0 was toolchain, building bin utils, assembler, linker and stuff, and compiler, so the native cross-compiling stuff. Then 1 was cross-compile and the rest was native. Basically, we kinda only need 3 stages, right? 0 for toolchain, 1 for cross, and then the native. But due to chicken and egg and circular dependencies, I added a second cross stage only, for example, we need to rebuild GCC twice because we need libgcc and libstandard.c++. That is, some things are a little bit tricky. And also Rust, so because Rust is a native thing, so I squeeze Rust in there because we need a cross-compiler and the glibc before we can build Rust, but that doesn't, because normally we had 0 cross, 0 toolchain, 1 cross, and like we need Rust in between, so I actually hacked a little bit. So basically 1 is a cross stage, like They're the same, just stuff we need early, we build in one, and Rust, I hack a little bit in there. I'm custom tweak and modify Rust and GCC rebuild to cross-compile in the, like to native toolchain, build the cross-compiler partially again in or at all for Rust. So anyway, so the stages are only circular, like think even udev depending on libusb and libusb needing udev and so on. So unfortunately we need to build one thing first without, but yeah, this circular dependencies also sucks. It is what it is. I can't change it, right? So yeah, absolutely mind-blowing, amazing. Recurrently the only person in the world in 3 years to run IDT Centaur based WinChip VRC3 and other stuff on Linux, because the only constant is change and regressions. Order merge below, hoodies, pillows, and of course the necessity for gracious living, a coffee mug. Right, we wanted to do some stuff. So basically what the three things I mentioned in the beginning, because of course we are here to do more stuff, which obviously we probably live stream already for over an hour. Oh, only 50 minutes. That is. So let's you know what, we can suspend that and go in here. And all right, we can do the, right, good that we do that here, because then we go in here and debug that, and SMB, find name, SM bus SAS, stuff of somewhere, also typo, maybe slightly different. That is SIS, SIS, of course SIS, of course that first, because, okay, still not SM, why not? Oh, come on, SIS 559, what is the freaking driver name? Okay, you know what, grab the shit and all of it, must be somewhere. Fix file, that thing, 559, not supported. Oh, it's not supported. Only vulnerability, not all. So 1999 stuff from the Netherlands. The chip contains 008 device, which is incompatible with the. Not all have manufacturer 1039 supported. Note these chips contain a 008 device which is incompatible with the 559. We recognize these by the presence of the listed blacklist PC IDs and refuse to load. Okay, so much to not actually unsupported. Okay, then okay, more, they're not. Guess it should be supported by something. Okay, fine, then not, was not the most important thing to do. Maybe another day, someday, maybe until I retire, maybe we hack SMBus. But the other thing is probably here in kernel also. This, let's see. Where is init? Oh, maybe it's init. Somewhere there is some. Where would be init? Where is the very first? Oh, that? No. Where is freaking? What's this? Where the heck is it? Somewhere is, okay, let's no init arch drivers tools init NFS drivers. Where the heck is Wanted to add the diagnostic there. That should be somewhere here. After all, init main, like where you would think it should be. Spin init. Oops. Comment there into. Dash also like GlibC object introspection. Do they both depend on each other? I don't even know, but G-object introspection for sure depends on glib. Jimbo, Intel accused the inflation CPU benchmark real spec says Intel Xeon using compiler that artificial inflates in results. Okay, interesting. So, I wanted to add a diagnostic here that I know. I mean, it's a super rare thing. But nonetheless, it now wasted over an hour of my time. Run init process. Where is that here, right? So I think I make that, what would be the normal PR info, what is the Linux kernel, because that is not visible. I wonder if what is so had I seen that, because I thought it's a bloody keyboard controller, right? Had I seen that, I would not even have started, like, then I would be wondering why the bloody init process doesn't come up. This is why I want to change that here. That will be then visible in each boot. I'm only wondering what is... That is not visible by default, right? Okay, I can later just change it, so I can pre-store that already. Verbose init process also. Can later also just rename it. Because, so if we run virt.io, so that are the default. Oops, no. So this is not locked by default for some reason. So then we would, I mean, one extra line that doesn't hurt, right? For if this ever happens again with, I mean, you don't know what happens, right? VDSO, other, I mean, it could be just a generic GlibC infinite loop stuff. Yeah? It's the free software and Linux Foundation add bugs faster than I can fix them, unfortunately. So better one more log line than sorry. Because again, as I said, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, I will not make this mistake then again. Then Can we so yeah, SCP that here of Linux kernel goodness of Linux 6.7.6.7. Oh. Where are we at? 5. And then that takes a while, copying this huge chunk of compressed data. And that's then probably, I said adding 2 messages, but I think I was initially thinking to add a second message, like I said in the introduction an hour ago, to our int_id, but I think 1 message is enough, right? We don't need to I mean, yeah, it basically is the same thing, but because it even happened today, I booted then the old kernel, and of course, like continuing switch routing into the new installation, again, infinite loop, obviously, right? You boot a 3-year-old kernel in init_rd that don't have this bug combination, and then the init_rd continues like switch routing into your system in infinite loops there. So, but I think it's a little bit, I mean, you probably rarely have, I think 1 message is enough, right? It's getting a little bit too cluttered then for me. Yeah. So we could we theoretically try if XOR comes, okay, we have a little memory. You know what, I guess at nearly midnight we can also reboot once. The only thing is, I now have, I would need to move those files around. Like that, right? Maybe the easier, or there are not 2 kernels in there. Shit. It's double the size, and okay, fine. It is what it is. Because I built the new over the previous official build. It's not super ideal, but it is what it is. I mean, I could shut it down and attach the parallel ATA IDE USB thing, and or we could also, you know what we could do? We could we? I wanted to say boot into the init_rd, but okay, we could boot. I mean, yeah, you don't see that. It's, anyway, that's basically it. I guess other stuff, like basically that was interesting stuff, like face-palmingly stupid bugs that make me speechless. But it's also a testament of that we just low-quality YOLO C code like it's the 70s, right? And open code the stuff, and like if we would have way higher languages, not even talking Rust there, even higher language than Rust, and not like more high-level math-like expressing what data we want to move, and not this open coding, iterating CPU ID leaves. Like 2024 or 2021, people are too incompetent to error-free iterate CPU ID leaves. I rest my case. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this, learned something. If you need a Linux distribution that just works on your PS3 and IET WinChip or VRC3, you know where you find just the necessity for gracious computer science, personal computer experience. Have a good day and night. Go out, do nice things. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you soon for the next bugs we probably find, like tomorrow when I finally start the ATI Mach 64 or whatever the Rage 3D whatever thing there is, and debugs Xbox server, I guess. Cheers and good night.